welcome in. Tanner Hendrickson here alongside Colin Surrey as we're getting set for the UHSP Utectics conference opener here on the women's side as they take on the Central Baptist Mustangs. As we're underway here at Creve Coeur Soccer Complex, Tanner Hendrickson, Colin Surrey, and one thing to keep an eye on in this one, Colin, is that the Mustangs are playing with just 10. 10 players only made the trip, dealing with injuries. Don't have the numbers in this one. They're going to have to really work hard, try and pull off a stunner in this one, playing a man down already as the game kicks off.
Yeah, so not only one less than your opponent out there, but nobody to turn to on the bench either for the Central Baptist team. And, you know, another thing of note here, UHSP has never beaten CBC. They have tied them twice, but they have never beaten this program. So a chance for history here today. And in order to avoid that, the Mustangs will have to come through shorthanded.
They've got it. They played all the way back. This is a fun Utectic squad, very young squad for UHSP. Bunch of freshmen on their roster, and are molding into their identity as they are 2-3 on the season. And one thing to talk about, kind of how quickly the landscape of a team can change. Central Baptist squad a year ago, you know, they played very well. They were a team that you looked at as a threat in the AMC conference. And now you look up and they're one of only 9 teams remaining that have yet to score an NAIA this season. One of 201 teams, 9 that have not scored, and they are one of them.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to have for the Mustangs, but you know, on a day like today, it's windy. You know, you got 20-mile-an-hour winds. Maybe you can create a situation that you can maybe get a ball to ground on a set piece inside the box, or get something near that penalty area in a situation where, you know, the wind affects the play. These conditions can maybe provide an opportunity for Central Baptist. And it's interesting here, I don't know that I've ever seen this. I think I've only done one Utectics women's soccer game so far this year, but Izzy Rogers starting at defense here as it comes to her feet. Used to seeing her on the attack and putting it in the back of the net.
Yeah, I have to wonder if this is one of those where they're playing down a player. Maybe Utectic's doing a little favor for them, throw up some different attackers there, and if need be, they throw Rogers back there. Also could be one of those kind of like we'll call it like the DH today, where it's kind of a half day off playing on the defense.
Now, I don't know if I'd go so far as for it to be a favor, but maybe something here where, you know, Jack Jameson is saying, look, we know Izzy Rogers can score. We know what she can do in an attacking midfield position, in a forward position. Let's see what some of these other really talented young players can do in that same role. And then if the situation calls for it, well, now you've got another way that you can beat your opponent. So UHSP, of course, wanting to put yourself in the best position to succeed and win every game, but also building towards the future with a team that is so young and has so much in store in the future.
Tactics have it. They will probably dominate possession in today's game. Just looking at the Mustangs, kind of playing a 4-4-1.
2 seniors on this team for UHSP.
Good ball played into the box. Sliding play, though, by the keeper, Vandenberg, and she's able to get on top of it. Nice job to come off the line and make that save.
Yeah, that was one of those 2 seniors with the tremendous ball in. Lindsay English with the wind working into her face, understanding that it would knock that ball down right around the 18, executed it to perfection. That could have very easily made it 1-0 early.
Tactics still applying pressure as it comes back to the goalie here. And a bad touch there, and it's taken away. Getting the steal, Hildebrand. Thrown towards the box, or attempted shot maybe, and it was blocked. Second opportunity, that one is blocked as well. Agnew couldn't get it on goal. And it was offsides for the Utectics.
Yeah, I was just going to mention Alexa Hildebrand as a name to watch in this one. She comes from a great soccer program at Columbia High School. They have churned out a number of really good collegiate prospects of late. In fact, I was calling the Mock Sisters game last night for McHenry University, a couple of other Columbia products, but Alexa Hildebrand has really impressed me in the time that I've seen her. And talk about a player that can set your teammates up. Here she is now.
She's got it, trying to get the edge here. We'll throw this into the box. It goes all the way through. Running shot attempt bounced up and hit the knee there of Clark.
So there it was, another great chance for the Eutectics. And we talk about this being such a young team. It's the senior with that first really good ball in, and then Hildebrand, a junior, with that next great play.
English will step up and try and intercept this one. Tactics will win it at midfield by Agnew. Plays it ahead, trying to get to it was Hildebrand. She can't, and the Mustangs will kind of reset things here. This one goes all the way through as it'll be grabbed by Reynolds, but Reynolds will be intercepted by Rogers. Nice job by Hildebrand to play that back as she gets it to Kroll. Kroll plays it through, but offsides. As that was Adams a step ahead there, the freshman from Bethel Springs, Tennessee. Well, you know, at least if you're going to play shorthanded, at least it's 11 on 10 and not anything lower.
That's very true. You know, we saw the Eutectics men score a man down late in their match. It was 2-0 and made that one interesting as they had another couple of good shots on goal with a chance to equalize, even with that disadvantage.
Rogers intercepts, and Hildebrand will now get it ahead to steam and come down the far side. Oh, gets blasted, and that's going to be a foul. That was a
I think
good
it's clean.
Are they just going to call this a throw-in?
Yeah. And I'm with you. I was leaning towards foul, and that is what the call is.
So English will be the one that will throw it into the box. I thought for sure, because though it was technically shoulder to shoulder, kind of one of those, okay, well, what's it look like? And it looked like almost more of a hockey hip check than anything else, as English will play this low towards the edge of the 18-yard box. It will be intercepted and taken away by Richards. Now the Eutectics will regather it. Come back towards the far side. Hildebrand makes a spin move, trying to get a shot off with that left foot. Took a deflection, and then this one will be popped high into the air, out of play, off the foot of Agnew.
Yeah, so there's the first lesson for the Eutectics with that shot coming to the goal from Sarah Agnew. If you get that ball up in the air, even about knee-high from anywhere between the 6 and the 18, you're going to have a hard time keeping it from going above the crossbar. I mean, this wind is just factoring so much into the way that you've got to play. Got to keep it to ground on your passes, and then shots have to be low and hard.
Mustangs trying to get it out ahead to Suarez. She can't get to it. Now they will maintain possession at midfield. The sun peeks out from behind the clouds now. Trying to turn there, trying to make a move was Adams. She lost it. Hildebrand's applying pressure. Hildebrand will win it now. Tries to cut to the right foot, trying to get a shooting lane. Gets it with the left foot and spins it in. Didn't get a lot on it. Doesn't matter. And the Eutectics lead 1-0. 9 minutes into the first half.
Just weaving and matriculating her way through the box. I mean, that was about as methodical a 1-versus-4 goal you're ever going to see right there from Alexa Hildebrand. Great work from the junior. And, you know, that's what you expect, though, from one of the few upperclassmen on this UHSP team. Can't speed her up, can't get her, you know, out of her zone. She was just so comfortable that entire time and made a phenomenal play. Just sticking with it the entire way would not be denied.
Third goal of the season for Hildebrand, the junior from Columbia, Illinois. The Eutectics on top 1-0 in their first conference clash of the season. Eutectics won one game in conference play a year ago. Went 2-9 last season. Last season, they lost to Central Baptist on the road. 6-2 was the final a year ago.
And you know, Tanner, think about the season that this Eutectics team came off of last year. I know it wasn't the result that they wanted against Oakland City, dominant 8-0 performance in that one, but coming off of back-to-back wins before that against Blackburn and Principia. To think where this program has been, and again, it's something we talked about in the men's game. It's not just the final result that you see, it's how did it look out there on the pitch. And my goodness, it's just night and day compared to a year ago. So much promise and so much to look forward to with this group, including Izzy Rogers, who passes that one on.
And it was a one question mark we had. I can't remember if you were with me for the first game or not of the season for UTEX, but might have been Michael Wagenknecht that was with me, but we talked about it at the time. You know, they had a lot to replace in Caitlin Akers, who was their leading goal scorer from a season ago. She left, she graduated, and they had to try and replace her, and they replaced her with a bunch of freshmen. But you're right. I mean, you look at this team, night and day's difference from a season ago. And already tied for their wins that they had a year ago at midfield now. Mustangs just passing back and forth. Bit of a heavy touch there, trying to win that back for Tactics. Fought forward to midfield, now will be one as it goes to the foot there of Adams. They will slow down the attack. The wind has really picked back up here today, as you hear it blowing in our headsets. Really calmed down at the end of the men's game, but it has picked right back up where it left when it started in the men's game. It's what it feels like again here.
You know, and that's another factor that I really should have thought about when we talked about Izzy Rogers starting in the back row. Well, you got this howling wind coming into your face. You get to keep your superstar player out there on the pitch, maybe not expend as much energy in this first half, and then let her run wild in the second with the wind at her back and push her forward.
It's on the near side now for the Tactics. Send a through ball ahead. Looks like it's onside. Trying to get to the other end of that is Adams. She will, throws it towards goal and scores. 2-0 UTECTICS, 33:42 to go. Kendall Adams with the goal. First of the season for the freshman, first in her collegiate career, and it's 2-0 UTECTICS.
Yeah, big congratulations to Kendall Adams. That's got to feel good right there. And how nice was that ball in to set her up. UTECTICS looking sharp early.
This has got to be a deflating feeling for the Mustangs. Playing short already. Knew it would be an uphill battle on the road, and here they are down 2-0. And we are just a little past 12 minutes into this first half. Get back underway here.
And think about what a confidence booster that is for the UTECTICS, that your star scorer, with her in the back row, you got a 2-0 lead in the first half with the wind into your face. And, you know, again, I know that it hasn't been a great season for Central Baptist. They're playing a woman down here in this game. But regardless of any of that, again, you think about where this program, you know, is trying to build up from for UHSP. You take any of that positivity where you can take it.
Tactics trying to win it here at the midfield. That's Hildebrand that will have the good first touch. Heavy challenge there. Foul will be called against Hildebrand. It'll be Central Baptist ball. And to tell you how littered the roster is with injuries for this Central Baptist squad, they've got 6 other players that are listed on the roster that are not starters that are not here due to injury. So granted, small roster compared to like the UTECTICS, for example. Because even if they had an extra player and everybody was here healthy, they'd have just 5 subs, but it's a lot better than not having anyone available to you. Play that back to the goalkeeper. All turned over, throwing it towards goal. This one's gonna float in and score.
How did that get under the bar and in? That is incredible.
Hannah Tyree from distance gets her second goal of the season. 3-0 UTECTICS, 32:04 to go in the first half.
I mean, that had to be coming down at what, like a 60, 70 degree angle for that to sneak in is just unbelievable. And not only that, it had backspin on it too. So if that bounces in front of the end line, it's probably not going to carry in with that wind pushing in. What a goal. What a start for the Eutectics.
Second goal of the season. Yeah, it's tough to tell from our angle. I knew when she got her foot to it, the goalie was out of position. I didn't know if it had enough, the wind was going to keep that one in enough or not. So 3-0 Eutectics on top here early in the first half. This will be a good one. It'll be nice to just start conference play potentially 1-0. Some Eutectics hold on to this one. This will be a good kind of experiment game, as there's a foul called. It's where the Eutectics can try a couple of things out here in this one against a team that's down one player.
Yeah, and good to see Jaleesa Aravalo pop right back up there. Took a pretty good shot, but you see her toughness. Looked like she got rolled up on a little bit too, which had me worried, but she's asking for some tape now. Oh, her right shoe, the sole of the shoe is coming off on the front end of it. She's asking for a new tire.
Officials getting on the Eutectics bench. I guess an assistant coach standing. Only the head coaches can be up at the line, I guess. Seems a bit of an odd rule, but okay.
Usually selectively enforced.
Yeah. And I can tell you this officiating wasn't all that happy before the game. That gets out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Mustangs. They weren't happy from their own doing, I would say. It's thrown in by the Mustangs. It's right around the edge of the 18-yard box. UHSP will be the ones that win it here on the near side. Try to bring it ahead quickly, but it'll be intercepted. Taken back by the Mustangs. It's too far out ahead. English will be the one that will intercept it. Kroll gets around the first defender, plays it towards the middle. Nobody really there on the receiving end for the Eutectics, though. Central Baptist will play this runner there, but too far out in front. Harding will be the one that comes out and corrals it.
Yeah, next half, that might be a good play right there.
Harding popped that right to the Mustangs. The Mustangs potential build attack coming there, but got deflected away. UHSP gets it out of danger. For the time being, I should say. Nice little run made there on a nice pass. Trying to get around the edge there is Rogers, but she just couldn't. And the goalie will knock that one out of play. Boy, how about the play by Rogers there? Quick kind of little give and go and took off.
How about the play by Rogers, but even better, Katana Richards. I mean, when you saw Izzy Rogers streaking forward like that, I already had my mind made up. Oh, this is going to be a breakaway chance for a goal right here for Izzy Rogers. And Katana Richards said, "No, I got the wheels to stick with one of the most explosive players in this conference." So that's a great little matchup. I hope we get to see that one again.
Come the Mustangs. They've got some numbers forward. Try to roll it through for Reynolds. Rogers, though, is going to...
She looked like she wasn't even in the picture for that play and still made it.
She's got incredible speed. Mustangs looking to generate an attack here. Ball takes a deflection, comes out now as it comes onto the foot of Adams, who's got one of the 3 goals. Gets through 2 defenders, Now it's a one-on-one matchup against Richards. Goes around to the right. Now we'll slow up and play it back, looking for help. Chunk the ground there, baby. That pass didn't have a lot on it. Roll back out towards Adams. Adams will get on the receiving end, play this one into the box with the right foot. Rolls all the way through. It's loose on the edge of the 18-yard box. Brand tried to settle it down, but plays it all the way back for the Eutectics. Nice settle on that, throwing this one towards goal. It's on target, but a nice diving save by Vandenberg.
And with this 3-goal lead now for the Eutectics, even early on in this match, this is an opportunity to try to execute some of the things that you need to do to take that next step as a team. Let's see if the Eutectics can continue to expand upon some of their successes that we've seen, and in the driver's seat right now to make it 3 wins out of 4 games. I mean, that is a great thing for this team.
A great thing for the Eutectics. And we've seen of the 3 goals, 3 different goal scorers, but you look on their roster, I'm trying to do quick math here. I believe they've got 5, 6 different goal scorers so far this season. I think if you have a heavy scorer, but last year you had Caitlin Akers was their main driving offensive force. This year they are more balanced in their attack.
But you know, in that Blackburn game, in this game, if the Eutectics wanted to get Izzy Rogers multiple goals, she would have multiple goals right now in this game. But again, it's about trying to see the different ways that you can play, because AMC play, you have the styles make fights moniker that kind of starts to come about. And when you have the ability to move in Izzy Rogers all over the field, when you are met by different playing styles, you can counter them now by what the Eutectics have been able to show here today especially.
What a ball by Rogers there to Hildebrand. Right now, no numbers in the box for the Eutectics as she will slow up and wait for help from Kroll, who will now try and play it towards the back post. How about the wind? That wind just really howling right now from your left to right. Now this will get played all the way through. Potential pressure situation coming here. Roll all the way through, but Harding will just grab it. You know, this is a nice, as a foul's committed here. This is one of those games that, you know, for Central Baptist, they're going to be able to work on some things, continue to push. It's great that they're able to play even shorthanded. But for the Eutectics, really good thing to make sure that they get a nice, maybe I'm a little early on this, but a nice kind of victory in their pocket here after coming off a game in which they lost 8-0.
Wins are so hard to come by in this conference. I mean, to get to start your conference play with a victory, I mean, it's just huge. It's a tone setter by definition.
And you'd much rather, you know, it's really, I think it's always the case throughout sports, whether it be at the professional level where you're not kind of going by conference record, or at the collegiate level. But you know what they say, can't win the season early on, but you can certainly lose it. And I think starting out 1-0 is a huge thing. It's why we were so big on the Eutectics trying to get points in the men's game, in which they fell 2-1.
Well, and this team, you know, you got a couple of
great ball into the box here, but it takes a deflection. It'll be cleared out by the Mustangs.
Got a couple of non-conference games coming up against Illinois College and then Lyon, but I mean, you talk about two extremes. The next AMC game for the Eutectics will be against Columbia, so try to get that confidence now.
Victor made a nice move there, took a shot, got deflected out of play, and it'll be a corner kick.
Nicely done there by Central Baptist.
Corner kick coming for Central Baptist. They're working on the shoe right now to our right. That fixed up. So it looks like 14. Sierra Victory will send this one into the box, the junior from Arkansas. Drake puts this one towards goal. Nice job. Harding comes off the line a couple steps and is able to corral it.
Let me tell you something, partner. I'm about to call a Division I soccer game tonight at St. Louis University. This is just different. Something you would never see at that level. A shoe getting taped back up in the middle of the game. You would have a brand new pair of whatever out there for the players. There's a different level of just heart and grittiness that you see out here in the AMC that if you are a big soccer fan, you've just got to appreciate the love and the passion that you see out here from these young women on display. You know, that's just something else right there. Seeing that shoe get worked on and get Jaleesa Aravalo right back out there like it's nothing, the senior from Little Rock.
So offside was the call. Free kick for the Tactics now. About 20 minutes to go here in half number 1. 3-0 UHSP on top. Tactics bring it down the near side. Well, on that corner kick, going back to that, where Harding comes off the line and is able to grab that ball out of the air. So here come the Tactics on the attack. We'll hold storytelling for just a moment. Hildebrand tried to get on the other end of that. Pops all the way back out towards the edge of the 18, and a foul is going to be called. We're going to have a free kick coming for the Tactics. But my point on that corner kick, when the wind is blowing like it is in favor of the corner kicker, not on for Central Baptist, terrifying as a goal. Absolutely terrifying, because you have the potential to where on the corner kick they can put it on target because of the way the wind is blowing.
And then it makes that cover to the back post just so difficult. Quite literally puts you between a rock and a hard place trying to make that decision. And now the Tactics trying to work out what the plan of attack is here.
Yeah, Rogers and English are two of the three that are over top of the ball here.
And again, this is far enough out that it's going to be hard to put enough pace on this one to really give it a chance.
Rogers overruns it. English will send this one, but sends it high over the crossbar. And we see a sub coming on for the Tactics.
And with a 3-0 lead, Izzy and Lindsay can share a laugh about it afterwards.
Kaylee Park's coming into the game for UHSP. She comes on for Wimberley, or excuse me, comes on for Kroll. And I would bet that the remark from Rogers there between those two was, I knew I should have taken that one. Goal kick takes deflection. The Mustangs will get it as they play it towards the near side. Suarez chases after it, goes out, must have taken the deflection though off of Tactic. It'll be a throw in for the Mustangs. You mentioned a couple more non-con games for UHSP Tactics in October against Illinois College and Lyon, and then they have all conference games the rest of the way after that. Pretty good schedule in place for UHSP this season, taking a look at all their games. Seven games in October for them, which is nice to see. Sometimes that can be, talked about the things you wouldn't see at the Division I level, sometimes very tough to find a lot of non-con games. And also the nice part is so far only one game's been canceled. The others done, for the most part, played a pretty good role in making sure that you get most of those games in.
And again, when you have a young team, that is a huge thing, just to get that experience, to continue to build that chemistry in game. It's a little different getting those game reps than it is practicing, scrimmaging against one another when trying to kind of get used to each other's speed out there on the field, what you like, what the tendencies are, what the strengths are, and how you can play to it.
Tactics now looking to try and build the attack as they go towards the near side.
Alexa Hildebrand is fun to watch out there.
She's been great so far here in the first half.
Her footwork is excellent. Just kind of glides around out there.
This is played far side out of play. It'll be a throw in for the Tactics. As English will throw this one in. Yeah, you mentioned the nice part of being able to play most of these games is because you have a young team, a lot of freshmen and a lot of new faces. A lot easier to get the chemistry going when you're able to play in game rather than, don't get me wrong, practice is important. But, there's just something different about in-game speed as that one's thrown to goal and it'll be grabbed by the keeper. "16 minutes to go in half number one. Tactics on top 3-0 thanks to goals from Hannah Tyree, goal from Kendall Adams, and a goal from Alexa Hildebrand. 3 goal scorers for the Tactics.
8 shots to 1 in favor of the Tactics in this first half.
And that's nice to see because coming off that 8-0 loss was their lowest shot total of the season. When they lost to Oakland City, they had just 4 shots in that game. It's good to see that the offense is generating back to clicking on all cylinders early on in this one.
And I think the most impressive thing for me in this first half from the Tactics is we spent a lot of time in the first game talking about when that wind is coming into your face, just how hard it is to put your shots on frame. 5 of the 8 shots from the Tactics have come on goal. Obviously, they've scored 3, so there's at least 3 in that category. But to be over 50% in these conditions is impressive, regardless of your opponent being down a woman and not having scored a goal yet this year. Still good stuff we've seen from UHSP.
And you know what? Give credit to the Central Baptist squad. Ever since kind of the blitz of 3 goals in, a 10, 15-minute span, they've kind of settled in a little bit now. They look a little bit more, okay, we found our defense. And to be fair for them, they're in the offensive zone a little bit more than maybe expected here. Now, trying to push forward, trying to get something, trying to end the streak and try and get out of that group of 9 that haven't scored at the NAIA level.
And, it takes a team, obviously, and when you're down a player, it makes it that much more difficult. But, you look at a player like Katana Richards, she is one of the best players on this pitch right now. And unfortunately, it's just not going to give her a lot of opportunities to show maybe what she can do in the attacking third, but we've already seen her make a number of great defensive plays. Again, you go back to that play where it looked like Izzy Rogers was going to have a breakout, and Richards was able to stick with her in impressive fashion. She's also done a nice job facilitating the possession the few times that the Mustangs have been able to hold on to it.
See the Tactics try to build the attack now from the midfield. Takes a deflection, trying to race after there's Adams. Put pressure on. It'll be interesting to see if this is a one-game tweak with Rogers defensively, or if this is something that coach has been kind of thinking about, trying to tinker things around just a little bit. It'll be interesting to see the next time we get to cover the Tactics when they're back at home against Lyon on October 5th.
Well, I wonder if this is similar to the approach in that Blackburn contest when UHSP won 4-0 and none of the goals came from Izzy Rogers.
Inside of 13 to go in the first half. Almost intercepted there. Pressure being applied by Hildebrand. They'll come all the way back to the keeper, who will try to support the Mustangs here. Heavy touch. Tactics continue to apply pressure, and they will win the ball now. English is here to support, and she will get it now. As they go into the middle, it's Adams again. Overlapping run for Hildebrand, who turns on the Jets now, gets inside the 18-yard box. Stops on a dime, plays it back towards the edge of the 18. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass. Not a lot was on that. If it was, that was Agnew that got a piece of it. Tactics have it again. This is a shot that's thrown towards goal. Long distance shot. Giuliano was the one that threw that on goal. With the wind at her back, maybe she gets it a little bit more of a threat on that one in the second half.
That was one of those no, yes. Wait a second, that had some good pace on it from way out there. Bailey Giuliano showing something with that attempt.
Hildebrand goes down, big kick there, and they're going to stop the clock, and Hildebrand's going to receive a yellow card here.
That's tough, because I thought she was fouled right before that, and instead she's going to end up picking up the yellow.
It was a big swing as she took there, so.
And that's usually how that happens, right?
Yeah.
You feel like, hey, they probably got me right there, and then you come back with a little extra, and it's always the second one that gets caught.
So that yellow comes at 11:23 to go in the first half. Free kick coming here for the Mustangs. Nice little move there by Langford. Langford will go to her teammate Victory on the outside here. Victory's trying to potentially find a shooting lane with that right foot, but good job by the Tactics defense to kind of wall her off and then forces the play back. Pressure's too heavy of a touch, and it will be taken away. On the near side, the Mustangs still have it. Richards is trying to get to that corner, and the side official is going to say that she was fouled when she went down. Tough to tell from our angle, but a foul will be awarded. The Mustangs have a free kick coming.
Yeah, look like they just got their feet tangled up there, and now nervous moments for Mustangs fans as Richards is slow to get up. Already talked about how good she has looked in this game. And without help from her teammates, she gets back to her 2 feet.
That's a good sign for the Mustangs. Just joining us again, they are playing with just 10 women on the field today. Everybody else on the roster hurt, not with the team. 10 players, no subs, so tough task for them as they trail 3-0. Ravallo will be the one that throws this towards the box. It's loose inside the 18. Rolls out, and it's going to be a corner kick. Second corner kick of the day for the Mustangs. Inside of 10 minutes to go here in the first half. So get ready to send this one in. It's at the near side. Again, this is where it can be dangerous for a goalie. Harder to put this one on frame with the right foot swinging this one in. Bends towards the corner of the 6-yard box, pops up in the air, and it goes out of play. It hit off of a Mustang, so it will be a goal kick, and we'll see a sub coming on for the Tactics as Trinity Wimberley's coming into the game for the first time. The freshman from Waynesville, Missouri.
Yeah, I'm always impressed by Waynesville's high school when I pass it along 44. Kind of sits like up at the top of a bluff, and it is impressive looking.
I'll tell you, I've been in St. Louis now since 2020, so this is year 4 in St. Louis. I didn't even realize that it was on 44. Had no idea
it's out there a ways. You gotta get past Rolla, down out towards Springfield. So we'll forgive you, Tanner.
Here's a breakaway for the Tactics. Tried to cross back towards the middle, but nice defensive play. Deflected away from Adams. Hildebrand now has it. she'll back up as the defense recovers. Well, I'm glad to hear that because I was afraid I'd been missing something for the many of times I've taken 44. This one's bent towards goal, but right to the keeper. As the save is made by Vandenberg.
You won't miss it if you go past it.
You know, it's funny how you take the same route over and over and over again and not realize some of the smaller things that you've missed. You know, I can't tell you, I lived just kind of peek behind the curtain, you know, when I was getting out of college. It was during the pandemic and lived with my grandparents for a year and a half. Took the same route to work every day, you know, every day. Last time I went to visit my grandparents, I swear I see something new every time, and I take the same path that I used to take.
I like that when I get the chance to be a passenger every once in a while and take some of those more traveled routes like you talk about. And oh, wow, okay. Didn't realize any of this was here.
That's knocked out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Mustangs. Yeah, didn't realize we had an antique shopping mall right by me. Had no idea. Turns out we did.
We know where Tanner's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah. Tanner will be watching football tomorrow. I can promise you that much.
At the antique store.
No. And as it's on the near side for the Mustangs here. Inside is 7 minutes to go in the first half.
Now look, you always claim to be an old school takes kind of sports guy. You got to go along with it now. The antique store is a part of the equation.
You know,
You got to live up to.
I guess that's a fair critique of me as an old school guy. So here come the Tactics now. Chance to play it down the far side. It's brought ahead by Park. Hildebrand trying to win it, get through two defenders, but she's going to get shielded off. Mustangs will play it. Tried to play it back towards the near side there, trying to get it to Richards, but she got cut off. You can see the Mustangs, because they are playing short, the way that they're trying to keep players fresh as they're rotating them. Well, we got a problem here, an injury for the Mustangs.
Oh, we got another equipment malfunction, it looks like.
Oh, the shorts got ripped there somehow.
I think it's a wrap on the leg there that came loose.
So Langford goes off for UHS, or for Central Baptist. So they are now down another player, make it 11 on 9 right now for the U Tactics. But as I was just getting to that, what I was trying to get to is what you're seeing Central Baptist do to try and keep legs fresh is kind of rotating around the defenders and the forwards, and kind of midfield as well. It's almost more, it feels kind of like a volleyball rotation almost, where they kind of go station to station, rotate in and out every, I think 15 minutes is what we've seen so far.
Really fluid kind of shape as well for Central Baptist, and in order to do that you have to communicate really well, and so far the Mustangs have done a pretty good job. See Katana Richards down for a second there, not sure if she is just winded or maybe still feeling the effects of whatever it was at the other end that had her down on the turf, but she has expended a lot of energy in this first half.
And it looks like it's ready to come back into the game. Be Langford. It's waved back in by the head official.
Got to praise the toughness and the 1-2 of this Mustangs team. We've seen multiple equipment malfunctions and nothing keeping anyone off the field for any extended length.
Nice win by Richards there. Steps up, gets the ball, but Rogers and that fun escapade be headed away. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about it throughout the second half here. Both two players now down after that collision. Both slow to get up. For the Mustangs, it's Guthrie. For the U Tactics, the player that went down was Adams, but both are up on their feet now, moving gingerly. So we'll roll out a play right by us. Well, this is a Though, some people may say, well, why would you play a game shorthanded? Why not just forfeit this game? Well, a lot can be learned from even this playing experience. I had the chance a couple years ago at the Division III level in the conference that we cover in the SLIAC. They played a game against an opponent 11v, I think it was 11v8 or 11v9 for the entire game. Ended up losing that game 10-0. Yes, here's a chance for the Mustangs inside the box, thrown towards goal, and it hit the crossbar and pops over. Dangerous opportunity there for Suarez. But the reason I bring that up, well, apparently now I must add in the famous Chris Bertman quote of, there's a reason they play the games, They play the games because anything can happen.
That's right.
But the reason I bring it up is because those shorthanded, a lot can be learned from. We saw Blackburn has continued to grow from that group that was there that was very shorthanded over the last 2 years, and I've really learned from that experience.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And I think, that kind of extends to anything in life, right? The greater you make the challenge, the more you're able to grow from that experience. And the challenge is awfully great right now for this Mustangs team. And again, you have to commend the attitude that these players have met this situation with. And again, kind of back to what I referenced a little bit earlier, these are not, Division I players on NIL deals and anything like that. They're out here for the passion of the game. They're out here because they love soccer. And even if you have to play a woman or two down, the idea is that you're out here because you love soccer. So let's play the game.
Ball's played into the middle now as we got about 2 minutes to go here in half number one. Minutes for 3 goals. Done a better job defensively, and we've even seen they put a little pressure offensively against the Eutectics.
Yeah, and not to take anything away from UHSP, but one of those 3 goals a little bit fluky, with the way the ball came down, and you still had to make the play, make the shot, and it went in the net, and that's obviously why it counts. But the angle that it came down at, it was rather improbable.
Yeah, if it was not a windy day, it would not be a goal.
No question.
Richards was able to keep that in on the near side, played it back to the middle. Central Baptist has it. Foul will be called against Hildebrand. She's got to be careful because she can make this game very interesting because she's playing on a yellow already.
And the one thing that does alleviate some of your concern there is that the next game out is non-conference for UHSP. But regardless, you want Alexa Hildebrand out there because that is a key player that you are trying to build around, and you can't improve without her on the field. So yes, it is important still to keep her, even though that game might be a little less meaningful than an AMC contest.
Baptist has someone down on the field over there. I think it's JC Suarez. She remains down. She took a shot, like head-to-head contact. And we reached the end of the first half as the clock ticks down. So at the end of the first half, a little bit of a weird ending there with the player that was down on the field, but hopefully she's okay. End of the first half, 3-0 Eutectics on top as they've gotten goals from Hannah Tyree, her second of the season. Kendall Adams scores her first collegiate goal, and Alexa Hildebrand gets her third of the year as Eutectics lead at 3-0. And really a very good first half for the Eutectics there, even though they've got an advantage, or man advantage. Very crisp first 15 minutes and did their job.
It was, and then you consider as well, probably the best scorer on this Eutectics team, Izzy Rogers, removed from the situation, and you're still able to find ways to score. So a lot of positives to take away from that first half from the Eutectics. And in the second half, again, an opportunity to build confidence for some of these young players and try to show some more things that you can use down the road to try to make some noise in the AMC this year.
So we've reached the end of the first half. 3-0 UHSP leads it in their AMC conference opener against the Central Baptist Mustangs. Colin and I will step aside. We'll be back with you here in just about 14 minutes with half number 2. Getting set to start half number 2 here as UHSP leads it 3-0 over Central Baptist College. Tanner Hendrickson alongside Colin Surreys. We're out here at the Creve Coeur Soccer Complex as we kick off half number 2. What was a really good first half for the Eutectics. They'll look to just put a bow on this one and start off conference play 1-0 and start or even their total of conference wins from a season ago.
And it would exceed their win total from
right.
last year. So a lot of, concrete evidence of progress from this game for the Eutectics.
We see Central Baptist start out with it. They got quite the talking to from head coach at halftime. He was on them and really getting on them, and his point valid, I'd say. He was mostly upset about the first 20 minutes of play, which we said, they got blitzed in the first 15, 20 minutes of the first half. And really the final 20, 25 of that first half for the Mustangs, they played pretty well. And a reminder, if you're just joining us, they are shorthanded. They are playing 11 against 10 because of all the injuries to their roster today.
Yep, that is a huge mountain to try to overcome. And despite all of that, outshot 11-2 in the first half. The only 2 corner kicks were generated by the Mustangs in that first half. So it's not as if you look up at the scoreboard and you see 3-0 and, oh, this is a domination, just totally lifeless on the other side. That's not been the case at all in this one. In fact, we've said it multiple times, Katana Richards looks like maybe the best player on the field of anyone out here. So Central Baptist has some stuff to work with, and when you told me that their coach was hard on them at halftime, I was a little bit surprised by that. I said, really now? And you kind of understand it from that point of view, like you talk about right there. And when you are a player, if you are a competitor at least, you want to be coached hard because you're probably thinking that same thing in your own head of, gosh, if we just played a little bit better to start this game out, if you're the Mustangs, we really have a legitimate shot in this game right now. And by that logic, just take it one play at a time, put one goal on the board, and then go from there.
See the Mustangs throw it in here. And no need for the Eutectics to do this, but they will keep Izzy Rogers and Lindsay English back on the defense. Now, English more of a defender. She has played midfield before this season. Hard challenge there in the midfield. Offsides as the flag is up. So free kick coming for Central Baptist. No surprise. Be more intriguing when the next time we get to cover the Eutectics, what they will do with Rogers and where she will be positioned. Because, again, this is the first time, at least to my knowledge, that she's been playing defense for the Eutectics.
And, again, I have a suspicion that maybe she was used in this same fashion in that Blackburn contest, but we can't know for sure as that was on the road.
Beautiful Blackburn.
That's right. Blackburn College. I'm trying to make sure I get the name of the town right because I always mix it up with the town in southern Illinois. Carlinville, I think is.
That's probably right. Are you thinking of Carbondale, which is in southern Illinois?
No, it's another one other than Carbondale.
I'll take your word for that's where Blackburn is.
Well, I'm going to figure this out for us.
I need to go to, I've decided.
Carlinville. Carterville is the other one that I get mixed up with, which is where John A. Logan is located.
That's right. Hey, we've covered all the schools around the area here, southern Illinois, been into the north a little bit. Oh, I feel like I've covered every Missouri school. There might be one or two I'm missing.
Need to do a remake of that song, I've Been Everywhere, Man, only replace it with all these obscure cities and towns from Missouri and Illinois.
As the 50-50 ball is won here by Central Baptist as they'll reset things back to their keeper. It kind of goes forgotten of just some of the beauty in all of these smaller schools, I've never been to Blackburn. UHSP, we're calling the game for here today. Beautiful little small downtown campus. campus in St. Louis. We know we've also seen, this one's played away, Principia College. Been to the campus. They're beautiful little campus for Principia College. It's in the area. Greenville, another one we've been to. All these small schools that kind of nobody really thinks about, because you always think about the big Division I schools. But man, some of these have beautiful campuses.
They do. The Eutectics included. I mean, that is one of the state-of-the-art campuses that you are going to find anywhere, let alone in St. Louis. And it's so cool the variety that you get too. You get a little bit of that city flavor.
And right on goal. Yeah, right downtown St. Louis. Not right downtown.
Well, yeah, some St. Louis people might get after you for that one. I think it's considered midtown there.
I've been around here enough now to correct myself.
But it is, just shy of Forest Park if you're working your way from downtown out towards that area, and just a great location, beautiful campus again, and so many of the facilities there at UHSP, brand new, state-of-the-art facilities, and you can see why, it might attract some of this young talent that we've seen not only on this roster for the women's soccer team, but on the men's soccer team as well. A lot of really good-looking freshmen, and some sophomores that have hung around from last year as well that are attracted by what the Eutectics have to offer.
For the Eutectics, it'll be fun to getting closer and closer to basketball season, get back into their beautiful gym on campus, and they'll have a lot to replace now with their women's team, especially losing the all-time leading scorer in NAIA history in Grace Beyer. It'll be fun to see how they replace her, and they've got a new head coach at the helm this year.
Definitely excited for that. A new era in a lot of different ways for that program.
We're about a month away from them tipping off the season. A little over a month. We've got soccer season going on right now. The Eutectics, volleyball as well. We're going to see the Eutectics, partner mentioned, get their first conference win, tie the mark that they had last year if they can hold on to this 3-0 lead, and also beat their win total from a year ago. Chance for goal number 4, trying to cross over in the middle there, but take it down in the box. That was Adams, who's had a couple of opportunities. There's a player down in the box for Central Baptist. And I think that might be Richards, if I'm not mistaken.
Gosh.
It is Katana Richards. She is down and in some serious pain as the trainers go out to talk with her.
That is a tough scene.
And again, a squad that, first off, we hope Richards is okay, but a squad that is very beat up with injuries. Already playing with just 10 players today. That's all they have that is healthy and active. Good news is it's good to see that Richards is on her feet, walking under her own power, it looks like. She will come off, so it'll be 11-on-9 here for the time being. Off. We'll have a drop free kick here. It'll be to the Eutectics.
I'm no AT, but she appears to be okay.
We're about 8 minutes in here to half number 2. Tactics will play it down the line on the near side, too far out in front as it rolls out, and it will be a goal kick. Well, couldn't be a better day for some soccer here. We've called it a doubleheader. This is game 2 for me and Colin. Wind's blowing, and it's been blowing hard. Gusts I'm in about 15, 20 mile an hour range, but couldn't ask for better weather. The clouds have been out, the sunshine's been peeking through every now and then, and it's in the 70s, and it feels great.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Even still, when you have the conference opener here, work into the beginning of conference play, it can still be really hot around here this time of year. And of course, in this sport, you would much rather have the cold than the heat. So
the cold weather will be on the way, but maybe Mother Nature will do us some favors and wait till the basketball season starts.
I hear we've got a very chilly October coming.
Did you hear that?
Getting into the weather stuff, becoming a little bit of a weather nerd lately. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're able to give me a heads up.
Well, there you go. It comes in handy for the old profession still. So.
Do you happen to have a day so I know which UHSP broadcast I'll be cold on?
Yeah, I'll give you the forecast ahead of our broadcast schedule. Yeah, the last UHSP game that I was at was eventually canceled due to weather. That IU Columbus game, and it wasn't a ton of area in the real immediate vicinity. It was more just all around us, and just couldn't end up getting that game in. Sat around for a long time, and we were inside a press box for that one, so that was a little bit better to ride out the storm. But that scenario out here at Creve Coeur Soccer Park would not be ideal.
No. You can, in fact, probably see us on your screen. We're on the far side, right at midfield.
Enjoying the sun right now.
Final chance for Colin to work on his tan.
That's right.
10 minutes has eclipsed the second half here. 3-0 UHSP leads it. A little disappointing. We talked about it during the men's game, and talked about how there's a bunch of games on the schedule for both the men and women's this season, which is nice to see. Mother Nature's only really interrupted the one, and that was that IU Columbus game. And that was going to be an interesting game. We got, 10 minutes into that one? Looked like it was going to be an even matchup.
Exactly. Was really looking forward to potentially calling that one, and weather just did not cooperate. And, that was kind of an unsuspecting situation as well. Knew that there was some weather in the area, but didn't expect it to be anything that really threatened the game like it did.
Yeah, and we, kind of talking about how great it is here and how we're going to get the potentially cold October. What a hot start it was to the season for this women's squad as this one's headed back towards goal. Their loss to Freed Hardman 4-2 in that game. I was on the call. August 27th was when that game was. It was a 100-degree game with humidity in like the 60-70% range. It was a brutal game and a brutal way to kick off the season. It's a good sign here. Katana Richards is back into the game now for Central Baptist. There she is right there, getting the ball on cue.
Almost makes it a different sport. I remember on some of those days, tennis tournaments that I would play in, half the battle was just making sure you were good to go in that weather.
Yeah, when you played in those, I played high school tennis, and when you would play those hot ones in the late spring or in the summer, my goal, because I wasn't most talented, my goal was, let's make this a track meet. I'm going to bet I'm in better shape. And it worked every now and then. Nice move into the middle here, trying to get back on that ball. Sliding challenge as bodies go tumbling over. Still has it. Adams cuts back towards the right foot, takes a shot towards goal and scores. Second goal of the game for Kendall Adams. Her second goal of her career, and the Utectics increase the lead to 4-0 with 32:36 to go in the second half.
That was really well done. It looked like maybe some players there were anticipating a whistle that just never came, but not that player for the Utectics. A great job by Kendall Adams, just staying with it, making sure that she was ready when the ball came to her, and then made a nice move to get to her right foot as well.
Jillian Clark was the one that applied that pressure originally, the one where you saw the 3 bodies go down. I think you're right. I think some of the players thought, oh, maybe there's going to be a foul called. Clark was the one that put the pressure on, and it's put home by Adams. Second goal of the season, second goal of the afternoon, and second goal of her career. It's 4-0 UHSP.
Deuce is wild.
See if she can find the hat trick. And if I'm not mistaken, she was the one that scored the wild one from about midfield.
She was.
In half number 1. They tried to play it back to Adams in the box there. The Mustangs grab it. We've mentioned it, Mustangs, one of 9 teams. There's a hard foul from the side. Hildebrand goes down. It'll be a free kick for the Eutectics. But Central Baptist, one of 9 teams at the NAIA level, yet to still score a goal, and there are 201 teams at the women's NAIA level. Free kick coming here. Okay, now here's a real question for you. We saw them have this opportunity in half number 1, probably about from the same distance. And we saw Izzy Rogers and English talking it over, and English was the one that took it and sailed it multiple feet high over the crossbar. We'll see if the answer this go around is for Rogers.
I think they've got a little play set up here, and I think Rogers is going to try to set a teammate up.
Rogers runs over. English will pass it to Rogers, who overlaps, throws it towards goal, and it's saved away, and it will be a corner kick. Nice little play there and a nice save from Vandenberg.
Had the idea, but the shot did come from Rogers there, and may have provided an opportunity had it not been a great save to keep it from being a rebound chance.
English goes short to Rogers, who's going to get a head start here. Now she's going to throw a left foot towards goal. It was blocked down. And that was Richards who blocked that and is slow to get up. Maybe had the wind knocked out of her after that blocked shot. It's been a brutal day for Richards.
That's exactly what happened, partner. I mean, it caught her square in the midsection, and she's back up on her feet again.
Chance for the Eutectics. This one is thrown towards goal, but it is well wide to the right. They'll go out for a goal kick.
That was a nice looking shot there from the California native, Hannah Tyree.
Minutes gone here in half number 2, 4-0 our score. Just joining us, the goal scorers for the Eutectics today. We just saw the latest one come from Kendall Adams, her second of the game. She's got 2 today. Also a goal for Hannah Tyree, who you just mentioned had taken the previous shot, and Alexa Hildebrand as well. Those 3 players have combined for the 4 goals. This comes all the way to the keeper. Cleared away. Thrown towards goal. It's loose. Oh, chance right there. Almost fell to the foot for Adams, who was looking for the hat trick, but Vandenberg was able to quickly cover it back up.
Yeah, Kendall Adams just got a good nose for the ball, and her timing is good too. Good instinctive player.
Tried to play this one through for Reynolds. It'll go out. Be a throw in for the Mustangs.
That player right there has a ton of potential, though, for the Eutectics. Has already shown some really good things, Bailey Coliano, but I think her best days are still in front of her as well. And she's one of those type of players that is a defender that can be a real weapon, because I see her as somebody that you can use on free kicks, that you can push forward, that can be somebody that you don't have to take away from somebody with scoring ability to try to get the ball into the mixer. She can be that player to do it for you, and then she's already in a natural position to get back where she needs to be should there be a sudden change.
Nice communication on that pass attempt from Tyree. Goes out for another Mustangs throw-in. Yeah, this Eutectic squad, they should be fun. Not just this year, but in the years to come, because of their youth that they have. And you can see some of the youth that they've gotten, like Rogers. Hildebrand will be back in a year. She's just a junior. They've got some talent here. see if they can build upon it. I can't remember exactly where they finished in the preseason conference voting for the AMC, but they were picked to finish very low in the conference, and after watching just a half of them in this season, I remember saying to my partner at the time, Michael Wagenknecht, I said, I think they may surprise some people and do a little bit better in the conference than what people are expecting.
Yeah, Columbia was picked to win the conference in that preseason poll. Williams Baptist was picked 8th of the 8 teams in the AMC. UHSP right behind them in 7th. Central Baptist was picked to finish 5th. However, not a whole lot separating those teams at the bottom in terms of points. 29 points for Central Baptist. Stevens sandwiched in between Central Baptist and UHSP with 28. Utectics were receiving 20 points prior to the season beginning.
Central Baptist squad, we know we're not even seeing them at full strength, so
right.
They're really hampered down with injuries. Down to just 10 available healthy players.
Yeah, what we're seeing here, not a reflection on what was voted upon. Exactly.
Yeah, if they had 10 healthy players when they voted upon it, I got a feeling they would have finished below Williams Baptist. It goes out for Utectics throw in.
I mean, if Columbia was down to 10 players,
yeah,
I'm not sure if you could even put them in the top half anymore. That's how much that means.
It'll be fun to see Columbia. They're on the schedule here soon for the Utectics.
Yeah, that's that next AMC matchup for UHSP.
October 13th, we'll have that game. They have that conference clash against what's viewed as kind of the powerhouse of the AMC conference. That's a bad pass, takes a deflection, and pressure going to be applied by Rogers. How about the nifty footwork there to get away from it? That goes out of play. Throw in for the Mustangs. Player shaking up over there for the Mustangs. Can't tell who that is. Good pressure being applied here by Adams as she's racing after it. Boy, you know she really wants to end this one with a hat trick.
Yeah, her teammates have got a smile on their face over there on the bench. They were thinking the same thing.
Tyree tried to win it, but it's won at midfield now by the Utectics and played towards the near side. Victory getting refreshed over here on the sideline with some water. That one rolls out of play.
Yeah, so a player down and sometimes more without subs to get that in-game water break.
Well, for the Utectics, we mentioned the next conference game will be against Columbia on October 13th. They got 2 more non-con games coming up, which will be nice to get the first win. We mentioned it earlier in the broadcast that, you know, you can't win the conference early in the season, but you can certainly lose it. So to get that first win, get a good start to the season, it's a plus for the Utectics. And now they'll get 2 non-con games to continue to work on things when they visit Illinois College on October 1st, and then when they take on Lyon College at home. And then once you get past that Lyon game, that's when it's kind of full-on push mode for the Utectic squad.
Well, it makes sense, all the good things that we've said about Katana Richards today. She was an all-conference member last year. Easy to see why.
You know, it's got to be quite the change for this Central Baptist squad as she goes down there. That was awkward looking and goes out of play. It'll be a corner kick coming for the Utectics.
I'm just glad she's okay. That was an amazing play she just made right there. Wow.
It's got to be a weird feeling for this squad. Again, they were a pretty solid team a season ago where Central Baptist went 3-2-2 in the American Midwest Conference. They lost in the first round of the tournament, went 5-10-3 overall. But, you know, only 4 freshmen on this roster. Everybody else has been brought back and has experience and is going through this tough stretch of games that we see right now.
I guess Harris Stowe's going right after this, huh?
Yeah, Harris Stowe State will be here on this field right after as English spins that one up over. Not sure who they play. They will be on the field after this. They've got a double header, I believe. Greg Tadich is on it today. He's giving me the thumbs up on everything when I say it's right.
You'll never catch that man off his game.
Does a great job sending us notes before every broadcast as well.
Always prepared. And we're prepared as a result.
Exactly. Otherwise, I'd have no idea.
That's a talented Harris Stowe team on both sides, but their women have got a ton of experience and some really talented players. The fact that they were only preseason 4th as they get set to take on William Woods in their doubleheader tells you about the quality of the AMC.
Yeah, both teams in the same conference as the U-Tactics, and it turns out U-Tactics will play both those teams back-to-back at the end of October. William Woods they'll be on the road for on October 26th, and then they will host Harris Stowe 3 days later in a conference clash.
Yeah, those top 4 teams in the conference, Columbia, William Woods, Mobap, and Harris Stowe, all have national tournament aspirations.
Free kick coming here for the U-Tactics, 21 minutes to go. Rogers and English are lined up over it. Rogers runs up, she will take it, launches this one with the win. Didn't miss by much, but sails it high over the crossbar for a goal kick. We see coming into the game now for the U-Tactics as they make another sub here. Trinity Wimberly comes back into the game. There's another goalie over there on the side for the U-Tactics that might be getting close to coming on. Susan Bradford. She comes now to the scorer's table, so she'll go into the game at the next stoppage. It's played short. We're keeping an eye on for potential as here comes the substitution for the Tactics. Maybe not. They will throw it in instead. It's played into the edge of the 18-yard box. Adams looking for the hat trick. Shot was blocked though, and it bounces back to Hildebrand. Just what I was about to say. We are on hat trick watch. As Adams has 2 goals so far here in this one. The freshman from Bethel Springs, Tennessee. Scored her first 2 collegiate goals today. I'd love to end it with a 3rd. Our producer will then have to throw his hat on the field. Inside of 20 minutes to go here in half number 2. We mentioned it way back when early on in the broadcast, but as my partner mentioned, first win this would be against Central Baptist for the UHSP women's soccer program. All time they are 0-7-2. 10th meeting, looking to be 10th time's the charm for UHSP. That'll be a foul in the corner. That'll be a free kick coming for Central Baptist. I think that's Lindsay English. That's way down there. It is. That committed that foul.
And Richards is going to stay down here.
It's been a tough day for Richards. She's been down a couple of times now. Hey, give her credit because she is gutting through something that's bothering her today. Playing down just to 10 women on the field. She's doing a good job of continuing to battle out there, even though she's clearly dealing with some kind of nagging pain.
She has been asked to do literally everything for the Mustangs today, and she has answered the bell more often than not. Something else moving forward for the Utectics, I'm excited to see how Bailey Coliano and Caroline Kroll, as they connect right there, continue to progress out of this back line. There are a couple of really talented players that have some great skills that you can see as they start to get a little bit more used to one another, they can build some great things.
Speaking of them, just thinking of how this core is going to come up together. Now they've got a core that you can look on and say, okay, now we can see we've got to just add and supplement to this roster. It will be fun to see the direction that they go. Again, they're going to be feisty in the AMC this year in this conference, but it's going to be really fun to see how they grow for the next 2-3 years as well.
That's something that I love about NAIA, Tanner, is that it's different than Division I, where you have almost a completely new roster these days, year after year, made up of transfers. And it's just harder to build up the rivalries. It's harder to, develop the storylines, and obviously for the players on the field, the chemistry together to really succeed in the long term. And not the case here for UHSP. They've got a chance to put a real 3-4 year stretch together where they can keep that core that you mentioned at the heart of everything they're doing.
Trying to win this 50-50 ball. At midfield, about 16 minutes to go here in half number 2. 4-0, Utectics on top. At midfield as the winds pick back up towards the end of this contest. They've got it on the near side. Lindsay English with it. Nice little 1-2 tic-tac-toe passing there for the Utectics as they throw this into the box. Takes a deflection, goes out of play. It will be a goal kick, or a corner kick, excuse me, as we see subs coming on now. Kaylee Park comes into the game, the freshman from Thornton, Colorado. And we'll see a goaltending change as well. Susan Bradford will come in for the starting goalie in this one. And Lauren Harding. Corner kick here. English will send this one into the box. Sends it, getting a head on it, just fired a bit wide. Good connection there, though, but Agnew couldn't keep it on frame, and it goes just wide. But a good opportunity and a great look off that corner kick.
It's one of the star players for Harris Stowe running it down, Yasmina Dressen, I think that was. No, it was another one of their stars, Annalisa Castro.
You seem to know a lot about them. I know you covered them, last year?
Yep, last year a little bit.
Have you seen them any this year?
I have seen them this year. Now, they lost, her name is escaping me right now, but a freshman from Germany last year that was just outstanding, no longer on their roster. But they have so many seniors, a lot of fifth-year players as well on that Hornets team that have scored a lot of goals in their career. It's hard to believe that team could be ranked 4th in the preseason in this conference.
Just shows the incredible depth of the conference as a whole.
Yeah, it sure does.
This one is played back, but it's intercepted. Now Central Baptist will regather now. Potentially look to try and build an attack as they go to the far side. Reynolds has it. Looking for some help, plays it back to the middle, but the Utectics do a good job. Cut it off defensively, and what do you know? Rogers is up here suddenly, chilling out at the top of the forward position. She brings it ahead, going to try and turn on the Jets. Rogers is going to try and get on the score sheet here. Looking for goal number 5, rolls it between the legs of the keeper, and the Utectics add on. Izzy Rogers with the goal. Goal number 4 to lead all scorers on the team, and it's 5-0 UHSP with 13:40 to go in the second half.
So Izzy Rogers does indeed make her mark with the score. Of course, she's already made her mark on this game in a bunch of different ways, but this freshman that went to Hazelwood West, a player that I would imagine had quite a few opportunities to go to some really good programs. And once again, Katana Richards down, and this is just not what you want to see. She, at the last second, was trying to get into the picture to block that shot, and looks like she's getting that right foot looked at.
Looks like the left foot may be coming off. Hopefully just cramping, as she was looked like trying to get stretched out from a teammate. Well, it almost felt like a sneak attack from Rogers, didn't it? I didn't even notice that she had moved up into the attack, and all of a sudden, right in front of us, she gets the ball, turns on the Jets, and it's just gone down the field to make it 5-0.
And just, almost unfair when you consider these Mustangs have been out on the pitch all day long, and Izzy's been able to conserve a little bit more energy in that back row, and then that big burst right when she needs it to get out there. And I'll tell you what, it's something special when you get to see her in the open field. I mean, just so many different moves, so many different shots that she can go to in her tool bag, and no question. And the type of player, too, that you have to think when that next crop of players are being recruited for next year, Tanner, that the opportunity to get to play with somebody like Izzy Rogers is going to make a difference when you make that pitch to incoming players that potentially want to join the squad.
Yeah, 100%. She's the kind of player that can bolster those around her, and that's what they talk about in like hockey, for example. You see it in soccer, you'll see it in any sport. There can be players that can just lift up everyone around you. And Rogers got to be making a case to make the all-conference team with 4 goals now on the season. That's her first in conference play. And Richards came off the field, walked off on her own power, which is a good sign, but she did not have one of the boots, maybe both boots off. So it's 11 v 9 for the final 13:40 here.
Yeah, definitely Izzy Rogers is in that discussion for being an all-conference member, for being the freshman of the year. It was Natalie Allison last year for Columbia. And of course, you think about what a great program that is. If you could repeat that, and it looks like we are going to end it right here with some of the injury concern for Central Baptist. But what a performance from the Eutectics.
Yeah, so Eutectics get their first conference win of the season, 5-0, as Central Baptist is going to call this one here because they are dealing with a bunch of injuries. Started this game 11 v 10 with Richards coming out for the safety of the team. Probably the smart decision to forfeit the remaining 13:40 of this one here in the second half. So the final score of this one is 5-0. UHSP gets their first ever program win against Central Baptist Mustangs. They have now topped their win total from a season ago, with this being their 3rd win of the season. They have now tied their conference wins from a season ago. This program here at UHSP, you can tell, really building momentum. We've talked about it throughout the broadcast. They're going to be fun here in conference play.
No question about it. They get a couple of non-conference tune-ups before they get a huge challenge with Columbia next up on the schedule in conference play. So a little confidence booster in this one, and then a couple of more times to go out there and try to get even better before they welcome the preseason conference favorite Columbia team next time out.
Yeah, they've got Illinois College October 1st on the road. This next time the Eutectics will be back in action. 7 o'clock will be kickoff for that. Real quick, let's recap the goal scorers in this one for you. Izzy Rogers scored the latest, the 5th goal of the day, her 4th goal of the season. Hannah Tyree with the goal, Alexa Hildebrand with the goal, and then Kendall Adams scored 2 goals today as well. That's how the Eutectics get up to that magic number of 5 as they win this one by a final score of 5-0.
I want to give a shout out to our producer, Devon, doing great work with us all day today as well.
Shout out to Devon. Shout out to Greg Tadich, who helped us out getting us prepared for this one with our notes and helping make sure everything runs smoothly in this one as well. For my partner, Colin Surrey, I'm Tanner Hendrickson. Thanks for tuning in and watching today's UHSP doubleheader as we say so long from the Creve Coeur Soccer Complex.